Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kyonin Legacies. I'm your host, Wuten, and we're back after a couple of weeks off, but we've got plenty of stuff to do today. So, I'll be playing here as Shizuki, the Brawler. Beneath me, we have Kanari, the Necromancer, played by Cygnus.
Good evening.
We have Anri, the Gunslinger, played by Solar.
Hello.
We have Chaotic, the rogue lore warden wizard.
You can just start calling me an arcane trickster at this point. It's fine.
All right, fair enough. Sorren, the arcane trickster, played by Chaotic. And over on the right-hand side, of course, our benevolent DM of the afternoon, GutiuSerenade.
Good afternoon / evening, or wheresoever you may roam. Last time on Kyonin Legacies, the split party had some of their own things to take care of. Shizuki, Sorren, and Kanari went to a book auction where they acquired some books of interest for their own. Sorren, in particular, an old wizard's spell book, and Kanari, a little history book of sorts, who she's going to be working on perusing. And Anri, for her part, had been making her way towards Cloverstone and was insisted upon to stay at Shizuki's father's home.
Make it sound like it was a trial, an ordeal.
It's more because he wasn't going to take no for an answer.
No would never be given.
He was provided every bit of hospitality, and they actually had a nice little heart-to-heart as well over
recent events
and the matters of weapon making, etc. Both of these journeys continue today. Let us start back in the kingdom. The party in total is currently in a phase where they have a lot of downtime on their hands after finishing up their big adventure to Charon Tower, and they're either, one could say they're taking it easy, but nevertheless they yet find more and more things to do during these periods. So, to start off with this new day, what is on the three of yours minds at the moment to do?
I think we were talking about doing the wands, the up and coming mages one today. I think that was what we were talking about last session.
Yep.
Doc Hardwick.
That was my recollection.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what we're going to take care of.
Okay. So for what the notice makes mention of, he has set. He's marked on. He's located at a little outdoor staging area that leads you a little bit southways outside the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So back in about, so like say we're about, go back to the map. Outside the kingdom city limits, probably around, I think it was around here. Let's say around here-ish. Not too far outside the kingdom limits. Probably, some of the outside towns are probably in sight.
All right.
Well, Kai and Anri have made their way across the bridge area.
Right.
And sure enough, it's the staging area that the party had passed by before, where that group was putting on that, where that theater group was putting on that display that had kind of rubbed Ty the complete wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
But it appears to now have been rented out. And
It's
you
our-
see through some of the the various tent setup, you see the ever colorblind Professor Hardwick just sitting in one of the seats, just writing things down, just writing stuff.
Yeah, I think we got a guinea and ruby off this one the last time.
Yeah,
were
we
here,
did.
didn't
Yeah.
we? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I traded him something for it.
hmm
I forget what.
Well, sounds like that's your in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she put him in a seat here.
Let me see what I can do. See, hit points. There we go. I don't think I have anything else to track, actually. Nope. Just hit points. Only thing that he tracks.
All right.
I will come up and give the professor a tap on the shoulder.
Ah, hello, young man. Actually, I know you from somewhere. Didn't you come to one of my shows?
I do believe, in fact, we did. Rather interesting
Oh.
display that you had.
Ah, splendid, splendid, he says as he bookmarks his tome and his little journal, stuffs back into his baggage. Were the adventurers coming to aid my little project here,
Something set up about in the city about testing out some items that you've acquired.
Yes. Well, as it turns out, to the surprise of practically everyone I know, the circus business didn't exactly take off. So I decided to instead pour some of my investments into archaeology. Yes, archaeology is what it was.
Nice way of putting it.
Indeed, some of people who returned from their journeys had found some wands, and I don't have exactly the sort of true proficiency with various arcanomancy myself. I wanted to find just the right adventurer to test some of these things out. Some of them danger. What we were to determine, danger is at the very least it wouldn't be any like true, deathly, irreversible harm. It's just that they're odd. They're just odd, and they've tasked me, one of their main funders, to find the means to just see how they were.
I'm so sorry. I'm just having the stupidest thoughts. Just like, oh, some of these wands are odd. You don't say as I pick up one that's just oddly shaped and vibrant. You don't say.
You don't say.
I apologize. I'm
You're
sorry.
good.
No, you're fine. I'll be honest. I did consider that at one point as like a gag, but I was like, no, that would be expected. And lo, here we are. So, the stage is set, my dear friends. You'll find them all over on the stage up top there, and let me just make sure I have my other ones set here. He pulls out a different book and flips through some of the pages. Where did I leave this off? Here we go. I have a very special reward for you, my good sir. Were you a spellcaster of sorts?
I believe the last time we met, I didn't, but I've been dabbling as of late.
Shizuki's going to sort of like cross her arms across her chest and point to both of them. They're the casters of the group.
Well, if all goes, if everything proceeds apace with with this experimentation, I may have just the thing for one who's for a blossoming young mage like yourself, and that's to say, it is something that is tested, but something that I personally have no need for.
And what might that be?
A mysterious book that I have no real means of. Actually, let me get it out here for you. He has got it. You can tell that like his bag seems a little small for for all the different sizes of books that he's just kind of thrown away willy nilly. Here we go. And let me just.
Excuse me.
He lets you take a peek of it. I will post it in the Kyonin chat for you to see.
Ooh.
Because I want to post the full descriptor because there's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot.
Yeah. Why did it not? What happened?
So this was what was in the book? Okay.
Oh shit!
Oh, no.
Impressive.
Wrong chat.
I didn't know we made zoetrope books now.
Wrong chat.
Your
I
Honor,
thought I copied this.
Your Honor,
What's
I will
going on?
just say
What am I doing here?
she deserved it. She had it coming.
She had it coming. Here you go.
Good.
Ooh. What
That
would you
looks
need
like
me to
a-
roll
Something
to
not
see if I
quite
could-
depicted is the shape of a is sort of like towards the middle is like the shape of an open hand,
Ooh.
what would
probably
you need me to
within
roll to identify?
within the circles of that star. What was that, Kanari?
I'm sorry. What would you need me to roll to identify that?
Try spellcraft for me.
Okay. What is my 10,000 plus 10?
Or better yet, knowledge arcana.
Same roll.
Hell yeah.
I thought it was. So, okay. So you're not quite sure. There appears to be layers and layers of complexity to it, but you are picking up traces of evocation.
Ooh.
Okay.
Now that
And
looks
you
like
can kinda
a
tell-
present.
And you can kind of tell like the actually for this one I'll let you roll spellcraft as well, just based on what you're able to identify with the 15.
26.
You can tell that it's almost like a sort of funnel effect where the spells, the magic within is like is all sealed upon itself. So like it's layered in such a way that each one is sealed deeper and deeper.
It's got layers.
So it would be like a series of arcane locks to
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
Or an onion.
That
Or an
too.
onion. Arcane onion.
Arcane onion.
Arcanion.
Onion.
Arcane.
Slightly dirty.
But a
Only
nice
slightly.
portmanteau nonetheless.
Yeah.
That's my big word for the day. Anyway.
Onion.
And as I said, nothing I really have any use for myself, but willing to part with it for the right for the assistance.
Testing. Well, I imagine we might be able to do that. Oh god. I only just noticed. Anyways. Well, I imagine that's pretty good. That seems like a pretty good offer, at least to me. What do y'all think?
Well, I did have one question first. I mean, it sounds as though you've tested these out enough to know that they are odd in some way. Is anything obviously dangerous?
There are. If there is anything of dangerous note, or otherwise, it will. There are some notations left. You'll notice that each of the wands has some sort of minor notation beneath each of them. So in most cases, you ought to be able to describe a little bit. Some are mistranslated. Some effects have mistranslation. Some have minor descriptors. But the more information you can give me, the more I'd be able the better that we would know what to do with these things.
Quite reasonable. And I assume that in addition to the pay that was stated in the request for work, I'm assuming that you will also cover the cost of any medical expenses incurred while testing these out?
Consider that done, yes.
Excellent.
I had this set up in case just such an occasion the worst might transpire.
A big old arena just in case something strange happens.
Hell yeah.
Which is precisely why I'm sitting all the way up here.
You know,
One thing I've learned from the Americans, by the way, always ask about health coverage.
Valid. Totally valid.
Lucky for y'all, this is fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. Lucky for y'all, we got socialism here.
oh dear.
Well, I'll let you and your test assistants get to work.
All right.
Just shrug. All right.
All right.
Just as an aside, on the way up to mostly Kanari is like, I only just start dabbling in magic. Suddenly books are falling left and right.
Well, that's what happens when you work in an arcane part of the world. So,
I suppose that's the case.
I'll just...
if it's any consolation, I had roughly the same feeling when I first got here. You know, I knew what I could do was special, but didn't realize there was a whole world out there ready to...
I'll just
Teach
pop
me
down
exactly
here
what it
just in
was.
case you need an extra
Don't
warm
worry,
body
we're gonna be
for it.
casting on you.
Huh?
Don't worry, we're going to be casting on you.
What?
When he said test assistant, you know.
Yeah, that's what the mundanes are for.
Shizuki, make a perception check.
Plus 18.
You'll notice that when... Actually, let me roll something here. Okay, yeah. You'll notice out of the side of your eye that after Kanari said, "Oh, don't worry, we'll be going to test them on you," you hear from behind you Doc Hardwick changing seats.
I just hear the scurry of little legs.
Yeah. Okay. So, to describe the different types of wands here, we have...
That's a good one.
One of them burps, apparently.
Oh, when he said odd and strange, he wasn't fucking kidding, were he?
Okay. So these are the different... if I can describe each of the wands here. This is the best way to kind of describe how each of them looks lined up like this. There's a zigzagged blue-colored wand, a striped chartreuse wand, a seafoam wand with little highlights to it, a pale white wand, a green winding wand, a tricolor wand of purple, blue, and gold colors, a red one with a sort of a white puffy base to it, and a peach and pink color one, which has a little note inscribed being like you that it's written as though that there was some kind of cautionary descriptor. It's how do I put this? There's a descriptor with it that says like not dangerous, but use at own discretion.
Ah,
I see.
You know what? This is what I expect going into a side quest about wands. Okay, you get used to it.
You
So-
get what you fucking deserve.
all right. So, as a first step, I'm going to use spellcraft in coordination with detect magic to see if I can just blanket identify any of these wands. So, let me know if you'd like an individual roll for each or one for all.
I will also be using detect magic and spellcraft. I will be attempting to help identify.
Okay.
Okay. I just need to do a couple of checks on some of those things. Because you're not going to be able to identify the precise spell themselves, but you will be able to determine some of their schools at least.
Sure.
And their auras, etc.
Yeah, I figured it wouldn't be that easy.
Yeah. Is there anyone that piques your interest at the outset?
I'll check out the zigzag blue one first.
Okay. Go ahead and roll Knowledge Arcana for me.
Knowledge Arcana. 16.
Okay. With a 16, you're able to determine that it has some kind of evocation to it. But with a 16, that is all you can glean.
Hey, rhyming on a dime.
Woo.
For my part,
shit.
I will go for the peach and pink one.
Okay.
While y'all are doing that, I'm going to grab me a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Go for it.
Okay.
Okay. So that'll be... So the peach and pink one, go ahead and roll Arcana.
15.
That is of the enchantment school.
Ah.
Evocation, I should just be able to choose a point and activate the wand on the point and see what it does. Enchantment might have to go on somebody.
Yeah, Shizuki.
Yeah. the test assistant.
Well, the funny thing is, you if it is a point and if it is just a point and cast, he's hoping that it can be a point and cast it at somebody to see what it does.
Oh, so we are supposed to just shoot all of them at Shizuki. Okay, got it.
Yep, all of them require a target.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Like, you could just shoot this thing out, but it's just like, oh, that's what it does. But what happens if it hits somebody or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I got out of one target duty.
What a shame.
Yep.
What
Well-
a shame indeed.
This is supposed to be some kind of evocation so I guess get ready. Is this a used magic device, or is this just a cast because it's on my list? I don't know.
Because you're not really in any kind of like combat or danger, I'm willing to kind of forego it. But what happens? So if you are casting it from that position, and then 15 feet in front of you, a storm of bubbles shoot out from your wand, but it does not quite reach Shizuki.
Huh.
It looks
Guess
like
you
it went about 15 feet.
Guess you got to get a bit closer.
Well, 5, 10, that's 15. Okay. Well, it looks like bubbles, so
All right. Let's
here
see it.
comes some more bubbles.
And Shizuki, a storm of these bubbles cover you, and your body begins to be covered in suds. And as the wind blows, you notice that your clothing and attire have all turned into bubbles and suds.
Oh no! Oh no!
What?
Whoa!
What?
Whoa!
Oh dear.
Immediately moves to cover herself. What the fuck?
It's not transmutation. This is evocation. What the hell happened here?
What the?
He's-
Excuse me?
Furious scribbling, holding the book in such a way that he is like not trying to look like he's peeking.
Fortunately, I happen to have an extra blanket here, and I will drape you in it,
Thank you.
of course.
I hope that doesn't last too. I hope that doesn't last too long.
I hope
does it
so
appear to be-
too. I had some expensive shit on me.
You're not kidding.
So, in the time that it takes Kanari to get a blanket out, rush it over, and cover her body, about a minute passes. And as the bubbles as bubbles start popping and the suds fade away, they start turning back to normal.
Oh my god. And she will you know, oh, she will very slowly remove her hands from covering her lady bits and breathe a sigh of relief, specifically looking at the gloves on her hands, and will breathe a sigh of relief.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Well, to be fair, sitting there, so you got yourself a knight charging at you. He's got himself some full armor. All of a sudden, he don't.
You
Sit there and make
know,
fun.
Yeah.
good on you for seeing the.
Seeing a lot more than I expected to see. Yeah.
Oh God. Good on you for seeing the light in the situation.
Look, someone's got to be the positive one here, right?
How about
He's-
I leave the blanket with you just in case?
I'm gonna just. She will take the blanket, fold it neatly next to her. That way, the bubbles, if or whatever comes next, will not affect the blanket.
The blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Was not expecting a wardrobe malfunction today, but you know what?
No, I don't think most of us leave the house expecting one, but
Carry on.
I guess we got another one there.
all right. Before I start casting here, I did want to ask: am I particularly quiet today or something? I seem to be having difficulty being heard.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hearing you at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, you're all right.
Had some difficulty on a call earlier this week, so I wanted to make sure there was not some issue with the microphone, the very expensive microphone that I paid money for.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay, so. All right, this one is enchantment. Obviously, that comes with some delicate possibilities. You ready for this one?
Well, seeing as mine was evocation, but still did some kind of it's transmuting, that's the one, right? Who knows what the hell's going to happen?
Well,
Fair enough.
That spell, by the way, was called Prism Bubble Spray, by the way.
Prism
like it.
bubble spray.
I like it. Well,
I know why. Okay. Anyways, sorry.
well, she's going to, it's just sort of like outstretch her arms, hit me.
All right, I will do so, Guti.
Okay. This appears to have a range of touch.
Aha.
Ah,
Right.
all right.
Kanari will shuffle down here and bap you on the arm.
Okay.
and I will choose to fail if there is any sort of will save.
Oh god.
Okay, well, I'm going to DM you here.
Oh no. Okay.
Instant berserker rage. Kanari is now paced.
Oh no.
So, all I'm going to tell you is that I had a lot of fun with this, and I got the opinion of the nebulous internet for ideas.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's not a good noise.
Goody! I
Look,
just got them back. All right.
I'm not the one who picked the ones.
I know.
It's not even the one with the flared base.
I just. All right. Give me a second. I need a fucking drink for this one. All right.
So just in advance, just so you're aware, Kanari, he's going to be looking over his book up here and seeing which one that you have in your hands. And he goes, "Oh, shit," and scrambles over to his bag and starts ruffling through it for something.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
Just
All
remember,
right.
we're insured.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So, Wuten,
This is
describe what
probably the
happens
insurance.
during
The insurance was, I think I have a potion on hand that should help. No one said
describe
it was
what happens during the first round if we were to describe this
Alright.
in rounds.
All right. If we were describing this
Are we
in
taking
rounds-
initiative? Oh, no.
Not exactly.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So. All right. So, with the first round, she is going to, just sort of as the spell takes effect, and then her eyelids are going to like droop. And Kanari, she is going to give you the deepest fucking smolder you have ever seen
Oh boy.
from anyone.
Oh.
As she begins to just run her hands up along like the sides of her obliques and raise them up above her head, turn her head slightly, and then just sort of like snatch her head towards you with a look as she begins to slowly, one finger at a time, slide the blacksmith gloves off of her hands, dropping them to either side of her in like the swayingest fucking striptease.
You hear from the top of the seats, like, hang on, I have something for this.
No. I've got this covered. Dispel magic.
And you stop. He makes it to the stairs with a wand of the same. Dispel! Falls down the stairs as he's like.
I will wander over to make sure he's okay.
Wander over.
Hey.
Accidentally dropping a wand onto his head. Anyway.
Several.
All of them, in fact. So, dispel magic goes off. Thanks, Kanari. And she will immediately, like, dip down, quickly snatch up the blacksmith gloves, and slide them back onto her arms.
I don't know if we're going to need that one.
Yeah. Kanari looks at you kind of utterly mortified. There's a reason I don't like enchantments. And she
Sorry about that.
very, very, very gingerly hands you the wand and whispers, if you want to say this one was broken, you know.
I have a feeling.
That one's going in a deep, dark library.
I have a feeling, as she's saying this through like gritted teeth, I have a feeling we might have similar effects for the rest of these. Be, well,
Ready.
ready.
So,
It's 2 for 2. And
yeah.
He lifts
No.
himself up.
Doctor,
And,
what manner of dungeon did you say this was in? Much in the way of plush handcuffs and spreader bars?
Turns around like, what? I was informed it was some sort of interdimensionally placed something or other.
Ah, so demon sex dungeon. Got it.
got it.
It's neither here nor there, and
You might want to keep that wand handy.
Mm-hmm.
oh, don't worry, I found it.
Good.
As he says, as he kind of like shakes it towards to show that he does have a wand here.
Wait, I thought he said he wasn't any good with those.
He's keeping it handy. He just
keeping
wants
it
to make
handy
sure,
just
he
in
probably
case.
just wants to make sure that someone's not going to pocket
Mhm.
like a wand like that.
Mm.
Shizuki
Fortunately for
will
all-
hand
all
over
that
the wand back to
casts of
Kanari,
that left. Yeah.
back on the table.
He did say he was gonna, while he was down on the ground, he said it was going in the deepest hole he could find. So,
Glad we're all agreed.
well, I guess I'll put the zigzag wand back. Touch striptease wand. There we go. Okay.
They're missing a P in that striped chartreuse wand.
No, this was actually the peach and pink one.
Oh.
Huh.
Fair enough.
Anyway, that was irresistible strip.
Right.
All right.
Irresistible strip. There we go. Got that written.
Irresistible
Cool.
strip. All right.
I guess I'll grab
Bruh.
the next one on the table, the striped chartreuse.
Yeah, and I'll
Right.
grab the red with the white puffy base. Well, I'm gonna Arcana first, but
I mean, I will too, obviously.
Please.
but, you know.
Please Arcana them first.
okay, 30 on the dildo.
That gives me nothing. It gives me nothing.
The red wand with white flared base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That looks to be conjuration.
Okay. Well, fortunately, that means I shouldn't have to cast it on she. What's that?
Correct.
Nothing
There
else
will
for
be-
a 30?
What's that?
Nothing else for a 30?
That has a pretty damn strong aura to it.
Oh,
Okay.
oh no.
Here's mine for my wand, 21.
And which one did you pick, Chaotic?
The striped chartreuse.
That looks to be another evocation.
All right.
All right.
Right, she, I think you get a break on this one. Conjuration, so, you know, in case something comes out and decides it wants to have its way with you, you know. be
Cracks
prepared.
knuckles. Finally, something that is more in my wheelhouse.
All right, so Guti, I will aim for right about here.
I will be at the ready to charge and pummel.
All right.
Assuming it's a summoning spell.
Charge and pound.
So, Kanari, you begin casting this spell, and you fall out of your own consciousness, and you begin chanting otherworldly tones. Hang on, I have something for this. Hold, chat. Hold.
Chat, is this real? Anyway.
Where did I put this? Son of a fuck.
Do I even get a will save?
You're the one casting it.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually.
Oh, fuck.
We'll see what happens.
Oh dear.
Oh,
That doesn't look good. That doesn't look good.
In fact, that looks very bad.
You begin chanting otherworldly things as
I don't
a ring of
recognize
fire.
that
As a ring of
language.
fire erupts around this circle, and a big ass fuck off coffin rises from the depths as the chains begin
Kanari?
to shatter apart.
Uh,
What happens on round 2, Shizuki and Sorren?
Can I attempt to disarm? Can I attempt to
You can
disarm
try.
her? I don't like this. I'm gonna try to grab the wand out of your hand.
Okay.
As soon as you
Shizuki.
reach for her,
Uh-oh.
Sorren,
Uh-oh.
you are frozen in place by every enticing sensation at once, telling you, grasping your mind, saying, "You mustn't. This is for your own good."
Do I get a will save?
or of farting,
Shizuki?
pissing, and coming all at once.
Fuck.
I guess what is she doing?
I am I look at this coffin with wide eyes. Yes! Finally something that is not, I'm going to...
I'll punch whatever comes out of
I
this
will
coffin
punch
right
whatever
back
comes
in,
out of this coffin.
right back into its coffin.
I am going to ready an action. Actually, I'm going to ready an action to charge.
Okay. The coffin begins to crack, the chains shattering, as what was trapped once within is now free. And he roars out, "Frail mortals!" And Shizuki,
Yeah?
did you have a ready action, you said?
I do have a readied action. Charge. I imagine I only get like the one attack, or
Yeah. Yes.
all right. D20
+2 for a charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
17 plus 2 minus 3. 20 against his flat-footed. He's a
Against
big
his
guy.
flat-footed,
Against his
That'll
flat-footed,
hit.
he's a big guy. He's a big guy. All right.
that'll hit, yeah.
8 plus 9 plus 6. 18 damage.
Okay. So, Shizuki,
Uh-huh.
you notice that this thing has 6 arms to it.
Whoa. All right.
One of its hands, no, actually, 4 of its hands come together as fire erupts among all of them.
Uh-huh.
And what he is then holding in that plate, in his hands, what appears to be a giant silver platter, and with one of his other hands, he puts on a chef's hat.
Wait, what the fuck?
And he says, "As I was saying, frail mortals." He puts the giant plate on the table, and he says, "Dinner is served." And then one last arm reaches out to reach the chef hat.
Pull it back in with him. Whoop!
I have no words. What the hell was that?
The most needlessly complex create food and water spell. Says
Well.
Kanari in character.
Glances over at the spread. Is that
Does it look delicious from here?
is that safe?
Hold on. Actually, can I?
We have detect magic up still. Is the food magical?
Mm-hmm.
It would be the same as though it had, as though you, like Kanari had said, as though it would be conjured food and water. So, or some effect. In fact, it looks like what's one of the bigger ones, like the Create Grand Feast or whatever it is.
Hero's Feast, I think, is the one you're thinking of. I think that's
Yeah.
the spell.
It's at this point that the smell starts to hit you guys, and
Oh, fuck
Damn.
Yes. Oh, fuck yes.
damn, that's smelling pretty good.
I'm gonna get one of the legs. Oh.
No blend of spices in the material plane could come to such perfection
Oh, fuck.
as the meaty flesh, as you sink your teeth into the meaty flesh and exquisite breading.
How's it taste, G?
I never want to have any other food except this ever again.
See?
Oh.
See? That's how they get you.
This is worth the striptease.
I want to sin just so I can go to hell and eat this.
I want to sin just so I can go to the abyss and eat this every day.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Mm.
It's a good thing to me.
Well, I guess as long as you enjoy it smells so fucking good. I kind of want to go over and dress him.
Sorren! She's going to take a drumstick and just yeet it towards him.
I will try to catch said drumstick.
Kanari, you cast this. You eat it. she's gonna yeet another drumstick towards you.
Yee!
Yeet!
Give me a ranged attack roll against my AC, please.
Touch attack.
Yeah?
All it's got to do is touch you.
Yeah. 32.
Fuck me.
I am dex based, bruh. Y'all forget. I'm not a strength character. I'm a dex build.
That makes it even worse somehow.
What brings you
Yeah,
up?
the drumstick bounces off her forehead.
Well, I'll give it a try anyways.
All right.
Okay.
Same as before. No one on this material plane could better conjure this, save for maybe someone in Port Peril, but they might come close. They might come close.
Mm-hmm.
It really is good. Oh my god. Huh. I might want to put this down. I kind of still gingerly put the drumstick down regardless. Like, it was fucking good, and I'm really not wanting to do it, but I can feel my will is still mine, so while my will is mine, I shall put it down.
Yep. All right.
Correct response.
And thus ends Summon Greater Demon Chef.
Ooh.
I'm in Greater Demon Chef.
Hell yeah.
All right, that one goes back on the table. It's not quite thrown, but almost.
Almost. Well, I guess I've got the striped chartreuse evocation wand here, so I guess it's my turn. All right, it's another evocation, and what that means, literally, I have no idea at this point. So here we go.
All right.
And this was the striped chartreuse, right?
Yep.
Okay. So it looks like that you just casted Magic Missile, but the missiles look to be a little different color. And as soon as each one hits you, you recall some really sad points in your life.
Oh.
And you can feel like it doesn't like make you a bawling mess, but you can feel yourself crying a little bit.
Okay. She's going to, she was eating, like mid drumstick, and she's just gonna like bite into it as the magic missiles hit, and just like mid bite, she's just going to start like tearing up.
Everything all right?
Yeah, just remembering some bad times in my life.
Nipples, and then takes another bite of the drumstick. Now just sad eating.
Tragic missile.
Tragic.
Hey, there you go. That's a good one. All right.
These, when they said I wasn't he wasn't kidding.
Yeah,
No.
they're blending spell schools. It's very interesting. Evocation and enchantment, compulsion.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Carefully dodging around the feast, she's going to come up and whack you with the dispel wand again.
Whoosh.
Yeah. She, between the effect of the spell and the dispel, you don't really notice much change. It just kind of, the sad stuff just kind of came in a flash, and you started crying a little bit, but it was just kind of like, oh, all right.
Oh.
Well.
All right. Duration
Okay.
instant.
Literally a very useless spell. It's just, you just remember something sad. Oh, okay.
Just remember something sad. Oh.
enough
Cringe.
so to make you cry a little.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, I guess I will place the wand back on the table, and I'll move on to the next one.
All right.
Okay.
The sea foam highlighted as I make my arcana.
Okay. This one does have a little note. It says like detect, but then a bunch of question marks.
Detect something. Gotcha. Okay. 17.
You feel divination coming from it.
Okay.
So some kind of detect. All right.
For the tricolor, that looks to be evocation as well, Kanari.
Okay. All right, well, you want to go first this time, Sorren?
Sure. Little note says something about detect, but they don't seem to know what. So it's detecting something. I guess we'll find out. Yeah.
All right, if you want to give her a break, you can cast it on me. I can't imagine it's detect anything too awful.
You know what? Sure. I'll cast it on you instead.
Okay. So Kanari, your eye
Unless
is
it's
kind of
own. So I don't know what kind of detect. It's just a detect, whatever.
So are you casting it on for yourself to be able to detect, or for Kanari to be able to detect?
I assume it's for me to be able to detect. If it's a cone detect, like a detect magic, then it's me.
It'd be a self-target. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So Sorren, you your eyes kind of glow in that sort of similar kind of sea foam kind of color.
So similar to the color of the wand. Changing
kinda,
from
yeah.
the blue of detect magic to the seafoam blue teal of the wand.
Mm-hmm. So you look at Kanari, you don't really sense anything different about her, but some things do light up over at the feast, and you also pick something up coming from just something small coming from Shizuki.
I will take a closer look at the feast and at she to try to see what seem to be detecting. That seems to be
Okay.
lighting up in my vision.
Okay. Well, whatever is in on with Shizuki, it's something in her pack, and the food is a couple of particular spots at the table. You can't quite make out from here what precisely.
I'll get closer to the feast first, and then we'll possibly go check she next.
Okay. It looks like that there's some catfish fillets that seem to be that you're looking at here. That this is remnanting off of, as well as a bit of trout as well.
Detect fish?
It's what it's seeming like at the moment.
Specifically, detect poisson.
Detect poisson.
Poisson. God damn it, Goody. I will say I don't have anything on my person that would be that. I think I ate that a while back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, so it's a specific type of fish.
Well,
Fish.
Well-
It's French for fish.
fish. Yeah.
So it's detect fish. Okay.
It's detect fish.
It's
Oh,
detect-
as opposed to detect poison. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
Oh. Instead of detect poison, it's detect. Oh,
Poisson.
so.
Poisson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I appear to be finding fish.
No,
That's
it'd
it.
be
I'm
helpful
just
if we
finding
could give it a
fish.
try.
Yeah, sit there and I guess next time we're going fishing, be like, oh, there's a whole bunch of them over there.
Fair enough.
All right, well,
That's a
that
good
was well compared to everything, but compared to everything else so far, that's like the easiest one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll switch back to detect magic now.
Blink a couple of times, your eyes change colors.
Mhm.
Back to blue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like fucking Splinter Cell, right? Where you've got the different
Different colors on his
vision
little
modes.
eyeballs.
Yeah.
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 All right. So this one's another
Oh,
evocation.
Samus Aran's different visors and shit.
Yeah. From
yeah.
Prime.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
All right.
This was the tricolor.
Yep.
All right.
Tricolor.
If this one's also evil, or some sort of other horrible thing, I'm just going to start casting them on myself after this.
All right. So you're casting towards Shizuki, Kanari.
Yeah.
All right. A splash of very like vibrant colors and comes out from the wand, and they kind of spiral out in all directions in a cone shape. And when the lights clear, Shizuki, your clothing and accessories seem to have been transformed to the height of fashion. In addition, you have lost 4 points of wisdom, but gained 4 points in charisma.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Kanari, you have
no.
casted a cone of cool.
Oh, crap.
Instead of a cone of cold, it's a cone of cool.
Well,
Shizuki looks like Miss Steal Your Girl right now.
looks like Jolene Fly High with Gucci. You know, outfits from that shit. Hell yeah.
She looking about as good as the food right now.
I don't feel all that different, but I certainly look different. Huh. Can we keep that one? I kind of like this outfit.
I don't know. You want to go with this, Sorren?
Oh, you want to use it at me?
Well, if you... She said there were no ill effects.
Make me look cool.
All right.
Sorren, you lose them 4 points of wisdom, gain the 4 in charisma, but you're almost fucking positive, just looking at yourself right now, you might just give Isaldria a nosebleed.
Oh, we might want that one. Hell yeah.
Well, I'd say
Abs-
that's a successful test.
Shizuki, after a minute, goes back to normal.
Whoa.
Losing
was-
4 points of wisdom put me at 9, so I kind of just became a bit. I don't know.
Oh,
I
that
don't
was
know.
weird. Oh, that was weird.
He's like, I
know
know
what?
I'm hot shit.
Mm-hmm.
When that was cast on me, it felt like I felt like, I looked good, but it was kind of all I could focus on. It's odd.
Hell yeah, look at this. These are some nice boots. Look at those boots.
So as we see in Exhibit B, So let's pen that down as another evocation enchantment.
Man, I need a jacket like this. He is very heavily focused on his clothes for the next minute before it ends. Oh. Well, alright then. And this is another evocation enchantment, apparently.
Mhm.
With a little transmutation too, since it
Transmutation, right.
changed your clothes. Yeah.
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 This is a whole bunch of fucking everything going on here.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Alright, well, I guess I'll grab the pale white one.
Okay.
I think that's like the second to
There's-
last one here.
Yeah, and the green winding should be the last one.
So
Here it is. Ooh, I rolled bad on that one.
You're not sure at all. Kanari was the green wine.
Yep.
Kanari, yours has another one of conjuration.
okay.
And Sorren, you're not sure about yours.
Well,
Well-
to be sick. Go ahead.
I've got another conjuration. Do you want to be the unwilling channeler of some sort of horrible demon thing this time?
You saying to switch wands? Yeah, why not? Here. Because I don't know what the hell this one does. I'll just hand it
All
over to you.
yours. Okay, so that's a 21 to identify pale white wand.
21 for the pale white. That looks to be... Let me just double check to make sure.
I mean, I know I'm not particularly arcane, but still feels good to check.
No, sure. I'm pretty sure it is. It is transmutation.
Okay. I'll let that joke sit there.
I think I'm too dumb coded to get it.
No, it's me. I'm the pale white.
Oh.
Fair enough. I shall be the I shall be the willing conduit for this conjuration.
All
As
right.
You doing
Assuming it's a summoning, it's going over here somewhere.
Okay. So you begin casting, and some sort of portal opens up, and you hear a lot of hissing.
Oh,
Oh boy.
can I see in the portal?
Yeah, if you get a little bit closer, you can see that there are many serpents in there, almost as
Oh.
though it's completely made up of them. As you cast snakes on an elemental plane.
Snakes. Snakes elemental plane. Nice.
God fucking damn it.
Well, I hope none of them crawl out of that hole. I don't need that right now. Can I dismiss it?
Yeah, one of them starts peeking out as you just like peeking at the open portal, just like, what the fuck?
Whoop. Well, that's a plane of snakes. I didn't know that existed. I don't think I wanted to know that existed.
Oh, you think that's bad? Elemental plane of teeth.
Please no.
Mhm.
Please tell me that's not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They made a movie about it. They made a movie about it, bro.
God damn it.
The sequel's better though.
Oh dear.
You be quiet, or you're going to be the target of this last one.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Jerry would be all over. He'd be happy to be the target of every single one of them.
I suppose we haven't even confirmed his survival yet, have we?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
He could be, he could not be. We don't know.
We
It
haven't
happened
seen a
off
corpse
screen.
yet. We haven't seen a corpse. Therefore, I'm assuming he's still alive somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the safe
Do you even
assumption.
know if Jerry can be killed?
Exactly.
He could be some kind of fundamental force of the universe for all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elemental plane of Jerry.
Elemental plane of Jerry. Sup?
Yeah, I was going to say they all just say sup.
Sup, bro? And it's just reverb all around you. Sup, bro?
Smells like cannabis everywhere you go.
Oh dear.
Exactly.
All right, well, last one. You ready, She?
Last but not least, let's see it.
All right. Pale white, supposed to be evocation.
Transmutation.
Transmutation, I'm sorry.
No good.
It could be, for all we know.
Well, yeah. All this boundary breaking. Yeah. Zap.
Okay. So at first, nothing happens. But then, Shizuki, after a few moments, if you could roll perception for me.
All right. Perception. 24.
You feel like something just crawled out of your pack.
She is going to drop her pack on the floor and jump back to try and see whatever it was.
You don't see anything there, but then you feel something that starts. You feel something on your neck.
Shizuki
Do
is
we
going
see anything on her neck?
You do.
Oh.
You see her. You see her traveling the bar of soap she travels with. Sorren, you have animated soap, and it wants to do what it's made to do: scrub and clean.
Shizuki is going to, quickly reach back underneath her hair and grab the soap, pull it back out to see what the fuck this is.
And while it's in your hand, it usually probably wouldn't be able to do this normally. It kind of almost feels like it's trying to look around a little bit, not quite bending itself, but when it feels a little bit of skin, it tries to scrub at it.
To scrub, it suds it up.
Yeah. It is trying to cut. It is trying to do what it does: cut bath time in half.
All right. Well,
Animate soap. Well, there you go.
animate soap.
There you go, Kanari. You animated soap.
I did. It brought new life to the world. And it's
I like the idea that it just it just starts sudsing itself up, and then it manages to slip out of my grip and just starts going up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like,
Whoa.
nope, I got
Whoa.
this.
What the?
Time to clean you up.
Clean you up.
Just always make sure that while you're bathing or showering, don't swear.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's
All right.
That's
All
funny.
right.
That's funny.
Give you a golf
Uh-huh.
clap,
And there you go, guys. You've tested all the wands.
Woo!
Yay!
Yay.
Thank you for being such good sports and tolerating my brand of humor. It's been fun GMing. But if I see myself suddenly removed from the group chat after this, I will understand completely.
No.
Nah.
If I'm being honest, though, I think my favorite one was Detect Poisson.
That one was really good.
That was clever.
Fucking cursed wands, but all they do is change one letter in the name of the spell they
Mhm.
cast.
No, I was looking over.
Made by a
I was
wizard who's really bad at hearing.
I was just picking through the list of just Pathfinder spells, being like, how can I fuck this in the best way possible?
Oh, I love it. Brilliant.
I think these wands are cursed, Mr. Hardwick. That's what I say. That's my official professional opinion.
Well, I've got some lot of interesting material for these. I'll have some good notes when I take them to be archived. And as promised, by any chance, you're a spellcaster. Surely you know how to mage hand. I hope it's one of the ones I see the most used. Even I can use that a little bit.
Well, yes, of course.
A snap of my finger, out comes a mage hand. The middle rabbit comes out of its pack. It also makes a mage hand.
I also join in with the mage hand, but it's a bit more of a grotty mage hand.
We got plenty of hands.
Well, good, because he snaps his appears, and he says, "This is about
Look at she disappointed.
Arms folded across her chest.
She's had a bad enough.
It's okay. Hers hits more than all of yours combined.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've done more damage than any of you.
And he just says, "I've not had the time in my days to study the deeper deeper know-how of such conjury, but perhaps you can. And so, for all your great help, here, my lad, this is for you. And you receive your reward."
I will take the book. Pontifications of the Palm, Grasping the Ethereal Concepts.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Pilfering hand, force punch.
This tome is sealed by multiple buckles, locked in place by magic seals. Each one locks a new chapter, each sealed by a different spell contained within its pages. Ensures the tome's holder can attain mastery of its magic. Each day, when a spellcaster prepares their spells for the day, they may study the tome to magically inscribe runes on their hands that act as components for their spells. May not be inscribed if the palm or hand is covered, so your hand has to be uncovered.
Interesting, okay.
Can be opened by an owner's mage hand touching its cover. If another magical hand touches the cover, it assumes that hand is the new owner, and all the seals reset. As long as the holder keeps ownership of the book, all chapters remain unlocked for perusal.
Interesting.
When the caster is ready to unlock a new chapter, they may expend the number of their most recent the charges of their most recent spell learned to unlock a new chapter seal. In order to learn a new spell of that chapter, you must meet the level requirement, spend a certain amount of time reading the spell inscriptions, studying the concepts of rune inscription. Once the time period is passed, you may prepare the spells as normal.
So I went through and and kind of made this for you, Chaotic. I am open to kind of navigate this as best in terms of balance and whatnot, because I trust everyone else here as GMs present to kind of help ascertain how this might work. But this is this is essentially kind of what boils towards what I wanted you to be able to utilize with your magic hand capabilities.
Okay.
So if this feels balanced and this table below feels like it makes sense because it scales with caster level, then it is yours to utilize as you see.
Interesting.
So help me understand the rune component. Does that essentially mean that it's got its own spell slots for this?
Basically, like it's like it has like per day charges.
Got it.
Interesting.
And they scale
Okay.
and they scale by caster level.
Damn.
Interposing hand. Interesting, okay. There's cover and AC, and then...
The highest I'll probably ever get is caster level 9, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
For me specifically.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I don't prepare spells, so...
Okay. Interesting.
meet
Yes.
level requirements, spend a certain amount of time, and then you will learn the spell.
Hmm.
You can prepare it as normal, but you also end up with it as a rune charge. I'm trying to see.
Basically, the rune charges act as the cost of how many each one would cost to use per day. So by the time you have 2 rune charges, you could use Pilfering Hand or Force Punch twice a day, or Interposing Hand once a day.
Oh, rune charges is how much it costs. Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. All right.
So
Is
basically, you'd have a maximum of 2 charges by the time you got to 20.
Is Force Punch Mastery a feat?
It's just that you have the mastery, like you have the previous, you have Force Punch mastered from the book.
Yeah, no, it's not a feat. It's more, yeah, like Wuten was said. It's more just like the book is like in terms of theme. The book is making sure that you have learned how to properly use Pilfering Hand.
Gotcha.
What-
Okay.
What I was kind of imagining when I created this item is that the book would basically kind of give you an exam, and it would like magically create something that's out of your reach for you to grab with Pilfering Hand, and when you retrieve it, the buckle would unlock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it'd be a different theme for each spell, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I like it.
It's definitely interesting. I like it.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
But yes, that's another quest done. That's another side quest done, guys.
Woo! Side quest complete. Hell yeah.
Excellent.
We will head up here and begin putting these in like particular safety pouches or containers, etc. And I will
The
go
peach
ahead and
and
mark
pink
this
one
done.
deep in the deep
Yeah,
in
a box
the
inside
pit.
of
Yeah.
a box inside of another box.
Uh-huh.
And
then
then
you'll
it's
mail that
myself
box
so
yourself.
I can destroy it.
With a hammer.
I will say though, Doctor, if you do ever decide to get back into the circus business, that one with the demon feast could be a crowd pleaser.
You know, that's not a bad idea, as long as it doesn't frighten them from the outset. And speaking of feast, feel free to take some of that to go. I'm going to grab some of myself in just a moment here.
Scooping as much as she can into her bag.
It's gonna be one greasy bag. Ooh.
Prestidigitation.
Worth it. Worth
I
it.
guess that's what animates. I guess that's what animate soap's for.
And with that, what say we take us a little pee break, my gents?
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Pee
We will be
break.
right back, y'all.
Well, lighting me on fire isn't going to change anything about how hot both of us are, so,
And we're back. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Mm.
We have just finished up the party, doing another little wand side quest. So let's see what's going on elsewhere in the world, particularly at whatever nebulous time that Anri arrives in Cloverstone.
You know, Kai, I wonder if the others are getting up to any trouble. Nah, they wouldn't, would they?
Woof.
Woof.
Boof.
Boof.
I am here. Boof, boof.
I am here. Woof. I guess she will continue walking up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Does everything look all right with Cloverstone right now?
Yeah, businesses seem to be kind of much more back in action than they were before. Definitely a lot more smoke from metal hitting weaponry and stuff, forges burning, food cooking.
Yeah.
Okay. Anri will probably she's probably in her her winter gear from last time.
Mm-hmm. So is Kai.
Of course. She'll just like warm her hands on a little brazier as she goes by. It's good to be back.
Borf.
Fourth. Dog noises.
And it's about here that you come up to his. I think I designated this as his place.
Oh, okay.
Unless it was. Hold on. Maybe.
You got some chirping birds in the back there, Goody?
Oh, yeah. I put on the fucking cat TV so fucking Merlin would stop getting up around the sink.
Aw.
Fair.
Just to give him a little distraction. He was just kind of getting into some stuff. I'm like, dude, you push your little silver vine under the dishwasher. It's gone now.
Mm-hmm.
And upon his front door, there's a note that says council meeting back by sundown.
Right. What to do? What's the current time?
You've arrived fairly late in the afternoon, so he's probably back in maybe sometime within the next hour or so.
Oh, well, don't want to interrupt a council meeting, I guess. So I guess I'll wait for him here.
Okay.
You're probably tired and hungry after your trek. Maybe some dwarven Doritos or something. I don't.
Dwarven Doritos.
Dwarven
Doritos.
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 Gosh.
Are there any food establishments nearby, GM?
Sure. Probably one of these places as you come right into town. Sitting on top of this little crested area, so it's one of the first things people can see as a sort of gathering point for beer and ale and whatever foodstuffs they might be able to find.
Anri will saunter up. What's the situation? What's going on?
Seems kind of like a normal day. People are a lot of the dwarves, and you see a lot of merchant travelers who are kind of setting up shop here. who are just kind of selling in from a trip. Dwarves starting to call it a day after a long day's work. It feels like Cloverstone has kind of found some semblance of normalcy since you guys were here to help.
Yay.
Good. We'll make our way up to the counter of whatever this establishment is, and we'll have a look at what's available.
And the first face the face that notices you says, "Hey, I recognize that face and that pooch. First beverage is on the house for you, lass. For all the work you and your friends have done here."
Oh,
You're not asked. You have a pint in front of you, fresh and foaming.
Ooh.
Very nice.
thank you, she says in Dwarven. What do you have in the way of food?
He passes over a menu. There's things you expect to have from dwarves. There's meats, whatever sort of vegetation they're able to grow out this way. I know that. Yeah, and they have a lot of like stuff that they roast. But they're really big on like boar, deer. They got some pretty freshly made breads, some good rolls.
Ooh.
And what's really appealing out this way, in the colder portions, is that special brand of porridge.
Rock
Anri
soup.
will take a porridge, and she'll buy a. Do they have like pulled pork or something for the dog?
Yeah, they can pull some.
Yeah.
They can get their hands some pulled pork, sure.
How much will that set me back?
Let me have a little look here. Probably about, I would say 8 silver.
Okay.
Since the ale's free.
Okay. Anri will take the ale and she'll just hold on to it.
Give it to the dog.
No, I can't give it to the dog. There are multiple things wrong with that idea. Is there I don't know, is there any way that she can just
Technically, the dog has gotten drunk before.
That is true.
I know.
We don't want to repeat that.
We don't want to repeat that. Is there any way that Anri can hide it or something? Is there like a place she could just leave it where it doesn't look like hers anymore?
Yeah, in your stomach.
You know what I mean.
Good question. How would you do how would you normally do this in a pub scenario?
Probably just in a pub scenario. If I did
Make
have
more
this,
drink.
I'd just give it to someone else. That's what I'd do.
Okay.
Well, depending on how crowded it is, you could just
Just
away from
knock
the
it.
bar, disappear into the crowd, and then leave it on a table.
Just leave it.
somewhere.
Basically, leave it on somebody's table.
Yeah.
Just go. Just do the here. Hold my beer, and then never come back.
There you go.
Even better. You turn around and just you turn around, put it on someone else's pub. They don't notice because they're in a bit of conversation with some others at his table. He turns, sees this other pint, looks around confused, shrugs, and just starts drinking it.
Yeah, you drink that random beer, random stranger.
Hell yeah.
The old slip and hide.
It's got its constitution.
I wonder what that's like. It is good to be back, though.
She says she like just takes a seat and just starts diving into that porridge.
It's warm. It's good. It almost makes you feel a little bit fuzzy too. Not as much as an ale might. Not as much as an ale might. Don't worry, no saves are needed. It's just how can I make a comparison? It's like how I add a few tablespoons of beer to my garlic cheese dip. Doesn't get you drunk. It just enhances the flavor.
Okay.
I made my chicken sandwich with all of my in-house vodka sauce.
Oh hell
Because
yeah.
fucking every food video I've been watching on YouTube recently has had a fucking vodka sauce somewhere in it.
Ooh.
I don't know, just noticed that.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's a nice, warm, and homely, relaxing meal that you and Kai feel nice and full after your respective eats.
Yum.
Nothing like a warm meal after a long journey, eh, Kai?
Woof. Woof.
Oof.
I knew you'd say that.
Yeah, Anri, after like doing that, she'll just like head on over to his house to just wait, see if he's back.
As you round the corner, you actually see him at his doorstep here, like managing his keys. And let me go ahead and grab his new profile for you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, look at him.
Look at that.
He's there with his pipe in his mouth and all, getting ready to unlock the place.
Forgotten which keys unlock your house already? You're not that old.
Missy! He comes over, and despite his size, his hug is crunching.
She knows.
She accepts it.
Oh, I'm so glad you finally made it out this way. And what a sight for sore eyes you are, it is to see you. Come on in.
It's good to see you too. Really good.
What?
Whoa.
What the fuck?
They found their tokens outside the fucking map because this is a new
Oh.
thing.
Chaotic.
I assumed it wasn't going to go flying over anything. If it's flying over the map, I apologize.
you're fine.
I
No,
thought it
we
would
just-
go around
we
the
just see-
outside.
We can just see all of the lines.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
all good.
yeah.
there's lines.
That's-
Never mind.
It's all good.
All right, fair enough.
It's all good. Just zoom
It'll
in
be
more.
going for a little bit, so just ignore it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Whoa. Yeah, Anri will just step inside alongside him.
And Kai
Sure,
will
Kai
come over
inside.
and Kai will come over and lay down by the fireplace once it is made.
Ah, good.
Hey, get you anything? Drink, something to eat, anything?
Drink something that isn't alcoholic? Is that possible here in this town?
He raises an eyebrow, just kind of be like, "It's a rare ask, but no, I got plenty. I got plenty out here you could want." And he'll just fetch you. He'll just fetch some water for you for the start.
Oh, good.
Even when you can imagine in our line of craft work, it takes a steady hand and a short by. I'd rather not them be glazing over when I'm working.
No, I can entirely understand. You told me, didn't you?
Damn right. I, however, going to need a stiff one. And he has a very tall pint that he has ready for himself as he finds a seat, kicks back. I'm going to need this out there today. So how was your journey over?
Not too bad, not too bad. Got to know what it's like to ride a direwolf.
Oh, your friend over there?
Yeah, he's been growing quite a lot, you could say.
Looks about the same as last time I saw him, I think.
Yeah. Still don't know how he does it, but he has some way of changing his size now. I guess he's just getting more comfortable in his own body.
Interesting. Reminds me of something I heard about some folks way up north of here. Don't hear about him much anymore, but I don't know, maybe he got some of the genes or something.
Oh, really? What could they do?
They've been around for a real long time, but folks don't see them much anymore. Not only because they're a bit beyond our borders, but he leans over to he kind of leans over, and as he sees Kai kind of start snoozing a little bit, he says, word is that kind of went extinct.
Well, that's as better a guess that we've had about him for the longest time. I'll keep that in mind. No. Other than that, no dangers on the road. Nothing at all, really.
Good. Glad to hear that much, at least. He says he takes a big gulp of his ale.
What are things like up here, ever since we dealt with that, mage for you? How have things been here?
I've been fine. Not fantastic, but fine. Things just work here, I guess. I just came from a council meeting, as you probably saw by my notice. Since we already claimed a lot of the area. The Cloverstone Council thought it wise to sort of not only move back into the mines, but move a little bit further up the mountainside, since both the threat of the orcs and the cult activity, the mad mage, all were dealt with. We could move all back in, and another long gulp of his ale. We could move all ourselves back in and expand our operations, since we'd be having a bit of catching up to do to get the supply train back going.
So
But
there's
then
just a lot of work to do.
I wish that were it. I wish that were all. Ever since that God's damn moon appeared, well, we couldn't really do much beyond the mountain summit at that point. Things started appearing.
Like what?
Kicking our miners out and getting all territorial at the top of the mountain. Frightening beasties is what.
Frightening beasties.
Anri she's got two fingers to her chin.
And they just popped up out of nowhere, don't even look like they're with the local flora.
Oddly enough, last we heard, we could find the most we could find anything about the things like them were from generations past, Anri. Don't know where they came from, but on the plus side, they don't make their way down the mountain either. They stick to their territory at the top, and they block us from getting the real good stuff.
I think I might have an idea about what that might be.
Oh?
Do you remember last time we were here, we assisted you in dealing with the mage and went into his dungeon?
Hmm?
Well, on the way in, or on the way out, we found some things. Gems that can reveal creatures from times long past with the coming of the new moon.
So, like the gems will react to the moon itself.
That's more of a question for Kanari or Sorren or literally anyone else. But I think, yes. It has to do with some magic thing. They used a lot of words like transmutation.
Oh, I can't believe how ironic this all is. My brother would be the perfect one to ask about this sort of thing, but of course we ain't on speaking terms. We had reports like that come to us just today, so thank you for confirming them. Word that these red rocks and the moon have some kind of connection to them.
Well, I'm happy to help. Do you think you'd want me to go up there and have a look?
He already has his hand up. He's like, no. Missy, don't take this the wrong way. I love you, dear. Love you like blood. But I think even these things are a bit beyond your pay grade, even with your little friend.
What about with more friends?
I haven't even gotten to tell you what exactly we're dealing with here. So, while I appreciate
not to know exactly what we're dealing with.
but I appreciate the enthusiasm to help. I do. But these things, they're like, how to describe them? They look like they're some kind of, almost shaped like some kind of arachnids, but not quite arachnids. They're their own type of beast. Their own type of beast. There's no real word for them, but they can look like arachnids, scorpions, but they're like they're completely made of ice itself almost, but stronger even still. And here's the worst part, Anri.
What?
You and your friends think that they can take on these things, but these are things that, according to our text from history, they hunt red dragons for sport and food.
What? Okay.
Oh shit.
maybe we will consider a few upgrades before then.
It's at the least, aye. But like I told you, while we've tried using some heat-based repellents, but they almost seem to like the fire. It draws them. They see fire as, while it could be threatening. While fire could be threatening to them, I think they almost see it like a challenge. Even so, they don't come down the mountain, almost like they're trying to keep something to themselves up there. But word is that so long as we set a perimeter to not go any higher than they tend to roam, we can still maintain the mine that you lot had opened back up for us.
Right. That is a lot. So that's what your council meeting was about?
Just to establish how we're going to proceed with these things. They don't seem to have much interest in us, unless we were made of like fire itself or summit. The biggest concern was with all the smoke that comes out of our craftworks that it might draw their attention, but I suppose it's not enough.
I would be careful if you do plan to ramp up production then.
Gonna have to instill some regulations for a while, but I think we'll still be able to manage a good output for the time being. Especially with what seems like, since it sounds like that cult group's been dealt with, hopefully the moon doesn't bring any other sort of upsurge in need for mass weapon production, craftwork in the kingdom and whatnot. Let me see. Since we're on the subject, he takes out some paperwork that and recording from the meeting. Interesting bit here too. So, you know how the mines were usually called the Dramlock's Horde?
Yes.
The old dragon that challenged Morgala's throne?
Yes.
Well, what was, once Morgala put that one in the ground, the rest of his brood fell prey to these things.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
The ones that didn't choose to escape, that is.
Well, I definitely don't think we'd be able to deal with something as strong as that in our current state. Well, at least I wouldn't.
However, that being said, I don't think you would have come all this way if you didn't have designs to improve your sharpshooting, aye?
Yeah, I suppose you could say I was a little interested in seeing if you had any insights, both in the shooting and the crafting of firearms. I'm going to be honest,
Cool.
Well, me and my friends, we've been on a lot of adventures recently, and
I made sure to get the extra pint so I could hear about all of them.
You can tell by
Well-
the amount of ale in his chalice, in his champion's chalice, if you will, that he's ready to hear whatever you want to tell him.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, Lorvan. I think I'm a little in over my head.
Why do you think that, Anri?
Because
She kind of like seems to like avert her eyes a little bit, trying to figure out how she's gonna even start with this one.
I suppose you could say we were involved in we participated in making the new moon in the sky.
In
She
one
kinda grits her-
sense. How strong was that mage girl? Was that mage girl with you?
It's a long story.
You're just a bunch of kids. I think I'm failing to grasp how that could be.
God damn it, Ron Reed,
Well-
don't make it worse. Don't make it worse for us. Don't blame us for this shit.
But we are blamed for this shit.
Henri.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Well, someone's about to know.
Why?
I think Anri is just gonna go ahead and relay a little bit of the story of the tower.
It's not our fault.
It's
How-
not our
It's not our
fault. I'm not to
but-
blame.
How specifically do you want to how specific do you want to be when you relay this stuff to him?
So, I
You ever heard of trauma dumping, Goody?
I have. I've engaged
yeah,
in it.
like I think the thing
I'm
is,
not afraid to say.
Anri probably, was just gonna like tell him a little bit of the story of just like how things happened with the moon, but given how they're so closely related, I think Anri might actually let a little on that something else happened in the tower. If you want, we can put it to a sense motive.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, he not 20'd.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Hell yeah, baby.
He can very easily tell that there is some trauma related to this story, which she's hiding not very well. Maybe a part of her actually wants to talk about it.
All right, lass, hold on. I'm going to stop you right there. This is a safe house for you to say whatever's on your mind, and whatever guilt that you feel you might have on your shoulders. You got to remember, we are not our mistakes. We're not.
Bloody tower could have fooled me. Because whatever was in that tower, that magic, it was capable of digging into your deepest thoughts and brought back a lot of memories. Memories of father, memories of things I did, and You want to know? That's not even the worst part. The worst
Go
part
on.
was that at the end of it all, I found one of my brothers. And he was different.
In your memory.
No, for real this time. He was real and he's changed.
Changed. Well, I can put on some. Hold on. I can change the music for this. Actually, hold up.
Okay.
I have too many songs.
You do, but that's okay.
Go on.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So, as I said, we're not entirely responsible for the creation of this moon, but I don't know exactly how involved we were in its summoning. I'm not sure if we set something off, but who I do know was responsible for it was my brother. He's part of the group that seems to be creating all of this. And he's different. His face is physically different. He's a monster.
So he's straight from the kingdom of Vera, has he?
I suppose.
I only ask this because I promise this is a safe space, but would you like a hug, Anri?
No.
Roll sense motive.
How about, instead of me telling you what he rolled, he just moves over himself, moves his chair over, and opens up his arms.
Anri looking like this in the Discord.
Aww.
No! Yeah, she will fall into the hug.
Aww.
And all of this is happening, and I am just way in over my head, and I don't want to stop, but I'm not sure if I can do this.
Right. Let's take just one step back for a moment, Anri. How about you think hard before you answer this. What is it that you'd want to do exactly? What is it that Anri Hughes wants?
I want to be with my friends. And I want to stop this. And I'm really worried something more is going to happen.
I think a lot of people feel that way. Everyone across Algerian looks up to the sky now and wonders what might just happen next. But you're not alone. You're not the only one worried. But you have a good crew. You have a strong crew who's probably just as worried about everything as you are.
Can I be honest?
Always.
I'm really not sure. I know they're strong. I know all of my friends are so very strong and amazing, and I don't think I am anymore.
And where do you get a crazy idea like that?
For a while, I was confident in my ability to just shoot things with my gun, and I thought that would be enough. But with everything that's happened, I'm not so sure anymore. Everything we face, even the last thing we just did, like a small quest to just like to deal with something really small. A bird was stealing things, and then a giant landed on me, and I almost died, and it's really stupid. And I'm not sure I'm like them.
Missy, you're a runaway who ended up running far into the world they know. And through them, you found family. You found family that you could finally call your own, even though they weren't blood. And yet all this time they continue to keep you. Even him, he says to a sleeping wolf over by the fire. Did he come willingly, or did you ask him? Because I'm willing to put gold down on the former.
Anri will nod.
Of course I don't want to stop. It's just I'm worried that something's going to happen, and I'm not going to be able to stop it. Or something's going to happen to me, and I'm going to hold them back.
If I could ask something that may or may not be too insensitive, it's more stroking my curiosity towards you and your friends here.
Go on.
Why does it matter? What do you have in the game at this point? All the politicking, none of that was your speed. The grandest change of all, the new moon. That's a little far out of your reach. And you got the kingdom, its denizens, and everyone from all its cities making their moves. What is it you're after at the end of whatever you foresee?
I'm really honest, I don't know.
Your words, the words you told, words echo back in your head, Anri.
Mm-hmm.
Ones that you told your brother at the top of the tower. You begged to Leon, we don't have to do anything anymore. Words that came from the heart. And now they've been brought back to you.
I just want all of us to live through this. I used to think I was doing this for fun, but I don't think I am anymore.
Well, I don't know if, based on what you told me, I don't know if your brother, you could hear the quotations as he says that, sees you as foe or not, but to go as far as he seems to have with whatever he's got in mind, it sounds like he has a grapple on what he's after. And the tighter and tighter things get in this world of ours, the harder people are going to grip at what they want. Those are the ones you're going to want to look out the most for.
So what do you think I should do?
Well, cliche as it may go, you got to follow your heart. It carried you this far, and only you know what's right for you. Now, I can tell by the warmth of this hug we've been holding for several long minutes now that I'm not holding a ghost. Nor am I talking to one. It sounds like you got away from every scrap with the essentials, your life, and the allies who kept it safe. Ain't a kingdom alive that can take that from you.
Anri is a mess.
He's right, you know.
All the tears and dribbling and snot. He doesn't care.
Mhm.
He's got his niece in one arm, a cold brew in his left, and a roaring fire over in the corner. Despite everything that he's relayed to you that he's been through, tonight is enough.
Yeah. Anri is going to just hold him for a little while longer. as long as he will let her.
He will relinquish at your own movement. Basically, whenever you're done, he will move back, give you your space.
Anri will, after that happens, Anri will try and clear her eyes up, compose herself.
So, yeah, I guess one of the reasons why I came here was, not just to see you, but to know if you had anything that could help, any training. Is there anything we could do?
I could think of a few things.
Because, I'm gonna be honest, I'm worrying that, all I can do with guns, it's not going to be enough.
Hmm.
I mean, you should see how much the other ones have grown. Kai is Kai. Shizuki can basically tear a monster apart with her bare hands. Kanari can use some of the most scary magic I've ever seen, and Sorren is doing... I don't really know what he's doing, but it's something magic.
Managing, maybe.
They're all so good at it.
He looks out back at some of his some of the targets he has set up. I might have a few ideas. You want to try something tonight, or get a good night's sleep first?
Been on the road all day, and I'm a mess in more ways than one. Tomorrow?
Of course. I know some people who like to take out some of that frustration on such aggressive things like target practice or fighting and whatnot, but that's absolutely fine. I'll set up the guest room for you.
Oh,
Thank you. But really, Lauren, thank you.
What are uncles for, huh? As he steps upstairs with to get sleep time ready for you.
Yeah.
aw,
Big time.
that's sweet.
Now, we can either leave that at that for today and revisit this next time, or we can roll into it and see what happens. Do you have any preference, Solar?
I don't have any preference. Whatever you think is more story thematic.
Okay. In that case, how about we just let Anri and Kai get their good night's sleep after being on the road for so long.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
And we will return to her in the next session. But for the time being, what is our party of 3 up to? They have received their book and their prize. They have made their way back up towards the kingdom, all in a day's work of thrashing Shizuki and enjoying a hearty demon meal. Is there anything anybody else would like to do for the rest of the day?
Well, let's see. What do we have? Well, what do you say we start gearing up to head over to Baronish to see what this useless item thing is all about? Or do we want to wait for Anri to come back for this one?
I mean, we could gear up to do that, I suppose. I imagine we'll probably have come back. We're probably going to want to eat, relax, do all that kind of stuff. I'll be trying to pore over this new book. It's just all of a sudden reading has become his life at this point. He just keeps reading books.
How's it,
He just
how's
keeps,
it
he just keeps
feel
reading books.
to have to be literate now?
Yeah, welcome to post-secondary education.
So 2 + 2 does equal 4.
Oh. Ain't that just the strangest thing?
Do you mind backing that up with a source?
My source is I made it the fuck up.
Although if you have
Just like all
studied, like, tertiary mathematics or anything, there are proofs for these things.
There are.
There are. People have derived 1 + 1 = 2 from first principles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we just get into
That
set
was-
theory.
That was
Oh.
my my tertiary education. Discrete
I'm so
mathematics.
sorry.
Linear algebra.
Now the question is, does the set of all sets contain itself?
Depends on the
No,
set.
I think I have it. I think I have it wrong. It's a set of all sets that don't contain themselves. That's the one.
Ah.
Because if it contains itself, it shouldn't be part of the set. But if it doesn't contain itself, it should be part of the set. So does it?
I'm trying to remember what the answer to that actually is,
No,
because I
there is an
did
actual
learn
answer
that,
for that. Yeah.
but it's been like a decade, so.
I'm just being silly.
No,
So
you're fine. You're fine. It's like I'm pretty sure it's all, it's like you've got all the integers, limit going out to infinity, you've got everything that's in that, and the set is, however deep you want to go into that. It's God.
I mean, I just assume it's a paradox, but you do you.
It's actually not. I'd have
I'm
to
sure
look
there's
that up
something.
further, but yeah.
This is gonna be one of those get into the deep, like you're at like math 705 and the professor is like IQ 300 and you understand only half of what he's saying.
Oh, okay. I knew I recognized this too, Wuten. It's one of those fucking Bertrand Russell ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's the elementary set theory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God. That's so fun. Anyway.
I read
Yeah.
and listen to too much. It's beside the point.
No, you're
So-
good. You're good. Anyway. Honestly,
Well, possibly. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, honestly, I don't really have anything specific. I think just like on our way back, just as we're walking, turns to Sorren. By the way, forget everything you saw with that fucking bubble spell.
What? Oh.
Exactly.
Oh. You bet. Yeah. All right. Okay. If you say so.
You feel a large and intimidating presence behind you.
He will say nothing more. He was going to. He is now not going to say anything else.
I was saying to Wooten earlier in the break that it's probably a really good idea that Anri wasn't there for that, because she might have actually just killed you.
Yep.
Oh,
I was thinking that too. I was like, if Anri was there, I was thinking to myself, man, too bad Anri's not in Cloverstone. She might have actually whipped out her gun on him.
This might have actually solved her trauma.
Well, now hold on.
Solve one trauma with another.
It's okay, Sorren. I am going to give you 10 seconds.
Yes,
Fucking
teleport.
Nine.
bullshit.
That takes 6 seconds to cast
Seven.
teleport.
6, 5.
He is already gone. he
Let's hope he
didn't
went
even
back
have
to Narr'tor.
he didn't have a destination in mind. He is now stuck in the Underdark. Help.
Oh god.
Anri,
Hey, bro.
Anri just T-poses, floats up, just like warps reality, teleports next to you,
becomes a
nothing
drill.
personnel kid, and then just Shadow the Hedgehog.
I am of me.
Exactly. Well, I don't really have anything that I'm specifically thinking of doing right now. Y'all have
Only
anything
two
in mind?
specific things for Sorren is to ask Kanari if she'd be willing to help figure out more about this book and practice using the hands using the book. We're gonna play some mage hand patty cake.
Well, I'm down for roleplay. Guti, to answer your original question, I think I'd prefer to wait for Anri to get back, but Solar, I'll leave that up to you. Whether this was something we discussed before you left.
Get back for what was it again?
To head over to Baronish to look at the last of the 3 job postings that we found.
What was the last job posting?
Some useless item or something that we're supposed to look at, I guess. I don't know.
Lesser merchant Baronish seeking aid. I traded some prime goods for this strange wax device from some fox folk down in Chanel. I fear the crafty little bastards might have swindled me, looking for creative minds. From Giuseppe Falcone.
Well,
Love it.
Giuseppe Falcone. He must be from the Twin Cities.
Mhm.
well, Anri isn't like she didn't explicitly say don't do this until I get back. Though I think she would like to be there. But if you guys want to go and
Yeah.
do it, she's not like she wouldn't hold it against you.
I think for the sake of just keeping the party aware of where we are, I think it'd be best if we stick to Leozeros general area until Anri gets back, and then we can go all to Baronish all together. So that way we are aware.
That is
of,
true.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Because Anri isn't gonna know where you are until she gets back,
Yeah.
and then she's gonna have to travel to Baronish to find you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have message going out that far.
That's called a sending
Unfortunately.
spell.
Yes. So.
We have friends who are magicians who possibly know how to cast that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if we felt like it.
Yeah.
But
then it'd be, Anri hearing voices in her head. So, that's its own can of worms. So, I think on my end, I'm going to go ahead and try to sell this large morning star that I got from that giant that we killed. See what I can do about that.
Okay.
So,
yeah, sounds like we have a good thing there. Wuten can go and do the sailing, and Sorren and I can do some quick RP, and then we, I suppose, wrap it up before you have to leave, Guti.
hell yeah.
that one's also my excuse to start retraining feats. So, sitting there and practicing with the hands to sit there and get really good with the magic sort of deal.
There you
So
go.
I can switch to additional trait to get my caster level up. So as long as additional trait is an allowable bonus feat from the bonus feats we've been getting,
I have used it.
Yeah, it's
then we should be good.
It's a general feat, so should be fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent.
Nice thing is that
Right.
background traits are usually small enough bonuses that sort of thing hardly ever affects combat at all. So,
Hmm.
all
Yeah.
right. I'll just go ahead
Okay.
and try selling this large morning star, this amphora of scented oil, and the painted clay Wuten in the shape of a griffin's head. In total, that should all be 72 gold pieces.
Okay.
And Wooten, at the end of the day today, I believe your +4 headband will be ready.
Yes, 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 yes!
Yes!
We could have been casting that wave of cool on you with no loss.
Yeah!
Hey. There you go.
You guys know what it's going to be like whenever Shizuki punches me for the rest of the campaign now? It's going to go a little something like this.
Oh my god!
Wow. That was loud.
Jesus. Yeah, but that is accurate. It's going to be very much like that. Because I'm going to be able
Every
to get...
boss for the rest of Kyonin Legacies.
Gonna be just fucking...
All right. So yeah, you'll be able to sell those without much issue. They do struggle moving the Morning Star a little bit, just because at one point it gets wedged because of one of the spikes. But they no, go on, tilt it right. Okay, now back. No, my back. Okay, good. Okay.
It's a lot of metal. I'm sure they can use it for something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if nothing else, crafting. All right, so that was 72. And then I'll divide it by 5. Will be 14. 14 for each of us, and I'll just pocket the 2. It's 2.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. In that case, Kanari and Sorren, the floor is yours.
So I'm reading over the weird book that we picked up from Professor Hardwick.
Mm-hmm.
And I will end up touching said book with a mage hand. And it opens, and I'm just like, this is a really weird spell book, if I ever did see one. Not that I've seen that many in my life, mind.
She's kind of craning over your shoulder here. Yeah, it almost seems like it's a primer for some specific school of hand-based magic. That's oddly specific.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Well, I mean, how much use have you've been getting out of your mage hand? I mean, I know that my version at least helps me deliver spells in combat, but have you been making much use of the ranged legerdemain? Or whatever rogues call it.
Honestly, I think I've heard that one before. I've heard tale of many a thief, many a rogue on the underground sitting there and using their magic with the mage hand, sitting there doing everything you do otherwise at a distance. It's one big reason why you can't sit there and leave them in a prison too long. They're going to find the key eventually.
Well, it's very
Solar.
convenient to be able to be, sitting in a corner of the bar, whilst your hand, looking completely innocent, whilst your disembodied hand goes from table to table, pickpocketing everyone that it can get at.
You sit there and you're just pontificating and sitting there and wildly swinging your hands, while at the same time what you're really doing is controlling exactly what the hand does.
Exactly.
As I roll sleight of hand to see if I am doing it, and Kanari has not been noticing the hand that has been making noise, that has been making a flapping, like a flapping motion, like as she talks, like behind it, like blah, 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 like you're talking.
Well, let's find out. You beat a 24.
Let's see. Would be a sleight of hand.
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
So yes, there is a blah 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 Muppet hand going on behind my head.
And then eventually he just slowly, and as he's sitting there saying, they sit there and they do these things, it slowly starts to go into your vision as he moves it.
Without breaking eye contact, her spectral hand comes up, drags it down into the pits.
It just, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark, and it just disappears.
Her hand then raises behind her head and just does the little finger wag.
He just laughs. Just well, if you wouldn't mind helping me figure some of it out, that might be helpful.
Well, of course. I mean, I don't know if this particular spell, she jerks her head over her shoulder, it would necessarily be something you'd want to do. I suppose I'm still trying to work out what exactly the specific kinds of magic you're looking to do are.
The answer is anything that's going to be helpful. But
That's fair.
seems like some of the things I've been pretty good at has been, well, taking advantage of the hand, but also more illusory magic. Illusions, I think that's the one.
Sure. Yeah, enchantments or illusions. Most of which you don't necessarily need a touch for. Those you can cast over an area or sort of just point your finger at someone and have the effect.
Yeah. I say it sounds about right.
Yeah.
Although this little lightning book's going to be sitting there, and once I actually get good enough at working with it, there's going to be a lot more lightning floating around all of a sudden.
Well, shocking grasp and things of that nature, could certainly benefit from a disembodied hand that could deliver those spells for you, but the books really are piling up, aren't they?
Just start falling in my lap. Like, it's just...
Now, I'm sorry I can't take more of them off your hands. Unfortunately, they're a little outside my own disciplinary area.
That's one of those weird ones, ain't it? It's so strange how all the different ways that people end up doing magic, and somehow they just end up not quite crossing. It's almost just not quite touching in the right spots. Like, you can't sit there and also wiggle your hand and do something like that. I guess you can, but they get pretty. Once you sit there and you actually start realizing it's like because I'm sitting there and I'm doing the more wizardy thing, right? I actually have to sit there and spend the time crafting it and doing it. It's just the way they do it. It's just so weird, you know?
Well, it's, the difference between sorcerers and wizards. Not that I'm either of those things, and realistically, neither are you. But it's whether it's inborn or learned magic, right? And I hear you, though. It is strange that with a little hand wiggling and the right incantations, someone with the knack could do things from a spell book, but not, a prayer scroll. It's bizarre.
I used to sit there and think they were all the same thing. How wrong I was.
Well, you and me both. For the longest time, I was one of the only people I knew that could do anything like I did, and I assumed that was just something unique to me. Like other gnolls had bigger teeth, or could carry heavier loads, or were better with a bow. Just thought this was my thing, my mother's thing, and that was just our specific bloodline. And then I come down here, and people are telling me, "Oh, well, if you do healing magic, so obviously you're touched by the gods." She rolls her eyes for effect.
Well, I'd almost have to imagine that might be the case. Just maybe one you're not aware of, maybe. I don't know.
I think I'd have some words for them if such a thing did exist.
Seeing as we do seem to be on this adventure and kick thing. Maybe that's one of those things. You got some words for them? Why don't we go find them? Sit there and learn enough of the magic, I'll bet you. I know I've read stories of mages that can sit there and not just see beyond the veil of reality, but they can even go through it. So when I can do that, maybe we can find some words. What do you say? Huh?
Aw.
She's giving you a very strange, but very... Goodness, what's even the word here? Respectful, almost. Like...
Damn, all right.
Yeah, you opened her eyes to a possibility that she hadn't considered.
Yeah.
You know, I hadn't really thought about it in those terms before, but with everything going on with this moon business and cults to dead demon kings and all that, you know, if these creatures are out there, I can't imagine they're very much different than a Shimayasu or whatever the other ones are called.
Nimagama.
That's a good one, yeah.
Thank you, GM.
You're welcome.
Thank you, not God. You know, I suppose that's something I'd like to pick your brain about, given the upbringing you had and your closer exposure to human culture.
He will lean back a little bit. Well, after everything we just sat there and went through, I don't imagine there's much left to sit there and not be an open book about. That one, he doesn't quite meet your eyes for a second before then looking back at you.
Well, you haven't had your clothes fly off today, so I suppose there's still some.
All right. I guess that's fair.
Oh, that poor girl.
Eh.
You know,
He was
suppose-
more referring to the tower when he said that, but I understand either way.
Yeah, no, she is deliberately trying to make a joke of it to keep things light.
Fair enough.
I suppose my question boils down to, obviously there are these great magical powers out there, right? You know, extra dimensional, what have you, elemental plane of fire, elemental plane of teeth, elemental plane of snakes today, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think I ever want to go there.
No, I think that would be a short trip. Demons and angels and dragons and what have you, but does anyone really believe that the gods, so-called, are anything above and beyond that system? Or are they just, you know, spirits on the same order as a dragon or a sufficiently advanced demon?
Should I make a knowledge check? Is this going to be a deep lore sort of figure, or if Sorren even knows it based on what he's reading?
Mm-hmm.
Religion, planes, nature, arcana? I don't know. I have those. The ones I'm naming are the ones I have.
So see, I don't know. That was a very broad scoped question Kanari just asked there.
She was mostly asking for your opinion, but if you want it to be an informed opinion.
Well, yeah, informed opinion, I guess. Here, we'll just roll a religion check, and we'll just see what GM wants to state or what the group wants to state. But it could just be a honestly, maybe we don't know question, because you know, maybe we don't know, and maybe he doesn't know either. He hasn't read anything, so I'll just have to fucking bullshit. So.
With a 20 and Wuten, you can stick a leg out and trip me for this one if it's not enough. But part of me wants to almost relay the knowledge of that, you know, mortals can't ascend to become gods. That in fact that it's such things have been notated across history. Yeah, for instance.
Or the story of Regulos, not Regidos, where he was also a man who became a god. So.
Yep.
Yeah. That might actually be enough to sit there and give me something I can sit there and say.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to lean forward for a minute. He's thinking. He's like, it's not probably something he's not really thought too hard about before, even though he has a religious symbol around his neck, which he does actually kind of fiddle with for a second. Specifically, it's the snail shell.
Venture, right?
Yep, Venture. The snail god of luck.
Woo!
You know, you ever sat there and heard the story of Cade and Kalian?
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with the tales at least, but I guess I'm trying to separate fact from. She winces slightly. Fiction.
Well, knowing that means that all I got to say is a short version, being that, you know, one day he was sitting there drinking, the next he just woke up and, oh, he's a god. He just has power. He's somewhere else. I'd have to imagine that most folks sit there and the gods are very much real things. Their magic touches us every day. But obviously, whatever they are, even we can become them. I can't say I know what they are, I guess, but they're gods. That's the word, I guess.
Well, I'd almost think like that cases like that and Regulos would make the case for them not being anything special. If, you know, mere mortals can jump in and have that power just accidentally handed to them, then
Look at this atheist take here.
I made character. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I like it. That's how atheists would understandably be in, you know, something like this.
It actually, in the actual Pathfinder campaign setting, there's an entire nation of atheists, but what they do is they say they are being, it's not that they don't believe gods exist, it's they don't believe they're worthy of worship.
Exactly.
That we as mortals should figure it out ourselves.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
But regardless.
yeah, well, I mean, this is the direction we're going here.
Of course.
A few lines further down the script.
So, Sorren will just kind of... Well, I guess that brings up the question where that power comes from, then.
Well, exactly. You know, is it really that different from you here learning to draw from the arcane weave to power your spells? You know, is there... If this is something that can just happen at random or by fulfilling a certain series of criteria, what's to stop us or someone with an equal level of power and commitment to the idea from doing the same thing and putting an end to this endless... She shakes her head. Sorry, I think this business with the tower is getting to me too.
There was a lot of nonsense that happened in that tower, I tell you what. Maybe it's for the better, maybe it's for the worse, but we ain't gonna figure it out until we sit there and get there. Whether that ends up being that we end up finding our way through that veil and telling the gods what's what, or whichever other way it goes, whether... I guess it's just what we gotta see.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the way I've always dealt with things. You just take it one step at a time and you don't think about it too hard. Of course, I think... Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead. She'll say hers in a minute.
All he was just going to do was he was going to poke at the the headband on his head and go, of course, this stupid thing's been sitting there making me think way too much recently.
I was going to say, you know, I wish I had the same luxury of being able to do anything without having to meticulously plan it, but it's gotten you this far, right?
That's true. And besides, maybe that's what you got me for. You do the planning part, and when the planning don't work, I'll fill in the gaps for you.
You know, when we first met back in the swamp, I wasn't sure how long I would plan to stay with this group. I had my own things to take care of, my own masters I was beholden to.
Right.
I think we make a good team. And like you said, I think we cover each other's blind spots well. So for as long
Aw,
as it takes
Kanari, you do care.
Aw. Sorry, and this is obviously a series of difficult words for her, but I'll let you make your own estimations as to why. I think if we do end up sticking together through all of this, we have a very good chance of not just putting aside whatever plot is in motion here to return the Demon Kings or change the face of Algerian with moons and danger and fear.
Who would have fucking sat there and thought we'd be in the midst of something like that? Sounds like a tale of legend to me.
That's kind of what I'm saying, is I think this is one of those, whether we like it or not, whether we accept it or not, whether we planned for it or not, this is going to be one of those pivotal moments on which the history of the world spins. And I think I asked a similar question some time ago, but you may want to think about what you believe the best way forward for this place is, not just as for our own benefit, but how. She sighs. If we are put in the position of having to make difficult choices about this region, about the disposition of the peoples here, about what happens to Ty's people, it may be worth thinking about what you want that to look like, so that if you are presented with a snap decision, that you're ready for it.
You really are the meticulous planner, aren't you?
Somebody has to be.
Well, all else aside, and all else, whatever else happens, he feels like he's just kind of like, I don't know what the right word is to, like, this whole time, the way that I've been sitting, the way I've been feeling, it's almost like this whole thing, he seems to be having fun with it. It seems to be a lot lighter than you'd expect for some reason. So, and then he's going to look at you, and he's going to say, well, whatever it is whatever all that is that comes to pass, and whatever else might happen, I was glad to get to know you. Whatever time that is. Hopefully, a longer time than we expect. Or
yeah, you're not short of me yet.
Darn. Yeah, well, if you sitting there catching me before I sat there and took off was anything on that, I won't be gone of you a while yet.
And I need you to know it's more than just because I have blind spots I know I need covered. It's You're a good man, and we, not just our group, but we, a people, a series of nations, a continent, a world, need more people, more good men and women who are willing to make tough decisions. Especially if, and she points at the little pendant you're wearing, we're the only ones who are calling the shots at the end of the day. So,
Damn.
if nothing else, thank you for giving me a reason to believe in the goodness of people. Believe that even someone who came from a place of anger and fear and frustration that you did could make of himself what he has. And if you'd like to sense motive,
Sure, since you asked. I can't spell. 22.
it's not just you that she's talking about.
Oh,
I assumed as much. His face had fallen a little bit more somber when you sat there and called him a good man, as like almost like just not a set of words he expected to actually hear said about himself. So, but I think beyond that, I think honestly the only answer I could feel like he can give is just like go back to smiling, give a nod and like a shrug, like a mixture of nod, shrug, everything. Like yeah. Like you're right. That's it. That's all he really has. You've actually left him speechless. So.
Aw.
Okay. She kind of smiles at that and then levitates over the book. No, that's enough. You've humored me enough for one day. Let's get back to this then, shall we?
Figure this stupid thing out, huh?
Yeah.
And this will be an excuse for me to spend money to retrain so I can have a higher caster level. Yeah! Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Woo!
Yes. I'll take you through a guided meditation, Chaotic, and when you come out of it, you'll be much more in touch with your inner whatever you are. Wizard?
And after
Yes.
you're done, don't forget to buy some essential oil. Don't forget to buy some essential oils. Improve your magecraft.
I thought we fucking killed that bird.
No, wait. He went, oh shit!
These
aren't normal-
Hand
these are-
around his throat.
What?
Don't mind my older brother, Moon and Star. He never really took off. It is what the mortals call failure to launch.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Big oof. All right.
And you're going to be working on the retraining.
Perfect.
And rest of the day, I suppose, goes by without too much of a hitch.
Woo.
And you all settle down for sleep.
All right.
Mostly.
Oh no.
Oh. Here it
Most-
comes.
Mm-hmm.
Kanari, you are slightly stirred in your slumber. From your
Fuck
slumber,
you.
I should say. And it's not, but it's nothing drastic. You don't have any nightmares, nor visitors or anything. It's a very light waking up you feel. And it's coming from the palms of your paws.
Yeah.
Very dim, very light, pulsating.
All right. Sorry, if you have more, go ahead.
But it's then that you see a similar pulsating of light coming from your travel pack.
Okay. Moving with care so as not to wake Shizuki. She will drop out of bed, go to her pack, pull it open. Which of the
And
books is it?
It is coming from the book, particularly one coming from, as though it's coming from like one particular page of it.
Okay. She'll look over her shoulder briefly to make sure she is still asleep.
Yes, still asleep.
On logs.
It's on logs.
She'll gently sit down with the book, pull it open to the appropriate page, wait for further feedback.
As you begin opening the pages, you start to see, as you get closer to it, that more of them have been filled in. They tell of more of what happened in climbing Charon Tower. They tell of your victory, your results, some of the things you've been up to since then. They describe your visit. There are more things, more blanks filled in across some of the pages too. Events known public, like your visit to the auction to retrieve books, secrets between you and your party members, intimate things that you still haven't told anyone. And the closer you get to this lit page, more of them fall blank. Until you get to the one page, and as soon as you opened it, the light suddenly dims. And looking at the book like this, there are 2 blank pages. Except for one bit of text on the right page. And it says something we will find out next time on Kyonin Legacies.
There it is. All right.
God damn it.
Horrifying.
Love it.
Oh dear.
Yay!
Yay. Good shit. Good shit. All
Yay.
right. Oh, that's
Well,
the good stuff,
I'm
Goody.
sure that's
Thank you.
fine.
Thank you for having us for
Yeah.
another one of these. Ooh, you're cooking something, and I am here for it.
I slow roast my stories like I slow roast my ribs, baby.
Hell yeah!
You summoned the greater demon chef, and he is cooking.
Yes, you did, and
He's my sous chef.
There you go. And we will be seeing what else Goody's cooking next time on Kyonin Legacies. There will be no pirate session next weekend because I will be out of town for 4th of July weekend, but otherwise should be, business as usual for the foreseeable schedule until the next holiday falls on a weekend. So until next time, we hope you all enjoyed. We hope that you will stick around for the future streams, and Till next time, we'll see all of you in the next live stream. Bye-bye for now. Enjoy all of the shorts that I'm dropping. I literally dropped 5 of them while we were streaming, so go check those out if you haven't already.
Oh my God.
So, see y'all next time.
Bye-bye.